Hello guys, si Kesa ulit ito at welcome sa episode 2 ng larutan ng Detective Conan, The Legendary Treasure of Strange Rock Island. Tuloy natin. Okay, last episode, sinimulan natin itong game. Tapos, yun nga, expected na yan. Meron na namang, cream. Meron na namang pinatay dito sa nagbabakasyon lang eh, may krimen na naman. So, check natin. There are pieces of glass scattered all over the ground. They're from the 4th floor window. Huh? Something is inside his coat pocket. It's a mobile phone. Ano pa yun, no? Classic na bar phone. Classic na Nokia style. It's a mobile phone. It has been smashed from the impact of the fall. Keyword phone. There are pieces of glass scattered all over the ground. They're from the 4th floor window. Something is inside his coat pocket. Yung phone niya. Yun lang? Okay, check na, keyword. Phone. This mobile phone was inside one of the victim's coat pockets. The impact of the fall broke it beyond repair. Yun lang ba nakikita mo? Wala na? Okay, ano masasabi mo, Kogoro? A murder has occurred. Now let me solve the case. Nope, hindi mo na kailangan. It's impossible. There must be a mistake. However, I wonder how far Kunio has gone. Why is he searching for Saichi? Do you think they've caught him already? Sana. Pero, teka. Saan tayo pwede punta? Pwede pumasok? Andito yung mga kasama. Anong klaseng waste to? Hindi siya na-review. A very old and elegant clock. His family must have been quite wealthy. Okay, ano masasabi mo, Ran? Conan, stop wandering around. There is somewhere I need to go. But, wag na muna. No way! A case popping up so suddenly. Should the great detective Sonoko returned to service after such a long time? Kumana. Explore muna tayo dito. Okay. Looks like this is the dining room. Alam ko pumunta tayo ng 4th floor, pero teka lang, explore muna tayo. Hindi niya pwede tingnan yung painting. It's a portrait. Maybe of Shimamura ancestor. Maybe of It's a portrait. Maybe of a Shimamura ancestor. It's a portrait. Umulit lang. Pang-akit ng 3rd floor. Explore muna tayo dito sa 2nd floor. This is where Satomi and Miki are staying. Tayo pwede open ng cabinet. Isang room siya, okay. Check nga natin yung map muna. Andun lang eh. Paano nandito? Wow, there are so many books. They must have been collecting them for a while. They are probably very helpful when someone needs to do some research. Maybe we can use them to find information for this case. There are many rocks with strange shapes in Strange Rock Island. They used to call it the island with the strange rocks before it got its current name. In each of its 5 capes, there is a rock with a strange shape facing towards the sea. One theory says that the Shimamura family erected them with some intention during the Edo period. Tingnan natin ulit yung map. Ayan, isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, 5. Parang oddly shaped na star. There are many umulit lang. Hindi ko nang babasahin. Isang buong shelf, yun lang ang laman. The Shimamuras were a family on the hook. Ano? Ulitin ko na, taka lang. Dali lang guys, ulitin ko, dali. Haba nun ah. Dali, haba ah. The Shimamuras were a family of the Hokuriku region, with much power from the beginning. They took up their residence on a solitary island called Strange Rock Island. During the Edo period, they prospered greatly, thanks to their middle-distance trade ships. In this period, they amassed a large wealth. It was said that this secret fortune was resting somewhere in the island as a treasure. That legend still remains to this day. However, their power reached its peak in the Meiji period. After that, they started to lose influence. Their location had become very distant to the center of the economy. Due to the development of new means of transportation, the faculty of the island to play a leading role in foreign trade was lost. The population of the island has been declining since then. Okay? Isang buong shelf, yun lang ang mababasa. A collection of old mystery books. Hindi considered na item yun. Ano man yung parang pedestal. There are many small islands on the Sea of Japan. Strange Rock Island is a solitary one without much external contact. One ferryboat visits the island twice a week only. Very few people visit the island with intentions of sightseeing. A mansion with Western-style architecture was built at the center of the island for the powerful family Shimamura, who've been governing the area since old times. It is an excellent building which is valued very highly among researchers. Yun lang. So, 4th floor. Magkapatid. Brother, why in the world? Why a thing like this? That person, our brother, is not in the mansion anymore. Mr. Mori said he probably escaped through the back door. It seems Mr. Kunio is still looking for him. Sister, our brother? That person, that criminal, being our brother? What does that mean? I never knew I had a brother. It's true. You don't remember because you were too young. Later, once I calm down, I'll tell you everything. When we finally get to Mom's birthplace, a thing like this suddenly happens. Brother, why in the world? Why a thing like this? There's something under the ceiling. Looks like a metal bar. Baka pwedeng i-ano yun. pwedeng pindutin or something. Dito muna sa room na to. Looks like a bedroom for visitors. I wonder if they arranged this room for us. Ano yung sofa bed ba yun? So dito yung crime. This is the room with the window where that man Seiichi was looking down from. It seems that the victim was pushed off from the window of the study. Ano yun? Trash can or urn? Picture... Urn ulit. It's full of books. Siyempre, chef nga eh. Probably the head of the Shimamura came in this room to read them. Umulit lang. May PC pa rito. Hindi na titignan yun, pasaway. The computer on the desk is still on. I wonder who was using it. Maybe that man who fell down. Miyata was using this room. This is the window where Miyata was pushed off from. Maybe he had a violent quarrel with the murderer. Is this a piece of glass? It seems it fell down when the window was broken. Glass. Okay, check tayo ng keywords. Glass. A piece of glass that fell on the study. It should have fallen on the outside after Miyata broke through the window. For some reason, this piece fell on the inside of the study. Why? Baka hindi, baka dito sa phone? Wala, hindi niya naisip yun. Pero ako naisip yun, baka part ng cellphone yun. Teka, subukan nating kay Ran yung nasa screen. It's useless. He escaped. Damn, that guy runs really fast. The officer has come here. He's doing on-site inspection. Doing on-site inspection now. But he said we should all wait for orders inside the mansion. The sun's down already. I'll prepare dinner. Dinner for everyone while we wait. Kampante lang eh, no? Handa kagad ng hapunan eh, may murder. Oh, I've gathered everyone here, even though such an awful thing has happened. Thank you very much, officer. Not mention it, even though this was a very peaceful village, where it seemed nothing would ever happen, this is the second case in a row that occurs now. So what happened? How is the body? Well, it seems it was a death by falling. It couldn't be helped, since he fell on his head from the 4th floor. Ouch. There was window glass around the body. To be able to break through a window, someone must have pushed him deliberately. In other words, in the investigation for this case, we can only treat it as a murder. Huh? And you are... I ought to have asked before... I ought to have said before that, I'm Kogoro Mori. Mori? Where have I heard that before? Oh, the famous Tokyo comedian, right? Comedian eh, no? Actually, I have a detective bureau in Tokyo. Eh? Kunio. This man must be that man, right? Mr. Mori is a famous and great detective. There's no mistake. Well, Mr. Officer of this peaceful island, since you're not used to murder cases, I will take full control of the investigation. Just leave it in the hands of an expert. Is that so? Excuse me then. But let's give this dodgy character a temporary report. Self-alleged great detective Kogoro Mori. Okay, that's enough. So what kind of person was this Mr. Miyata? Mr. Miyata was born and raised on this island. After the head of this family died, he was entrusted temporarily with the management of this mansion. He seemed to be very close with Mr. Seiichi. I can't believe that but Seiichi hasn't been found guilty yet. However, there's that previous case too. I guess this time Seiichi too? Tell me about the previous case. Actually, before I tell you the whole story, the culprit of that murder case was Seiichi. Ganon eh, no? Oh, you sound very sure about it. Actually, it's... Wait a minute. Sister, you called brother. You called brother to that man Seiichi. What does that mean? I never heard before that we had a brother. Are we the sisters of a murderer? Please explain it to me. I ask you the same. Could you explain that? I understand. I better tell Miki too. Our mother died when Miki was still a baby. My sister and I were then raised by our dad. I was still a kid, so I don't remember too well. But I do have a memory of having an older brother. Before our mom died, he was very kind and I loved him. When mom died, some people from her family, came and took our brother with them. I've never met him again since then. Paano mo nasabi kuya mo hindi mo pa nga, matagal mo pa lang hindi nakikita, ano ba yan? I asked Dad about him all the time. Mom's family had some complicated reasons. Dad thought they would come and take us too. He told us that if they ever came, we should try to escape from them. Malabo kayong kunin kasi kung yun nga, kung tungkol nga sa tag dito yung lordship tsaka yung yung pag yung pag hahawak ng estate, malabong kunin ng female na next of kin. Laging male yan kahit saan. Yan resulta yan ng ng male-centric society. Pero ngayon, thankfully, nagbabago na panahon ngayon. So, hopefully, mawawala na yun. So, that's what happened. It's amazing. I didn't even remember what my brother's face looked like. Paano nga nasabing siya yun eh? But when I saw Seiichi's face looking down from that window earlier, I remembered my brother's face in an instant. Paano yun? Para naman paano mo naalala maliit pa kayo nung huli kayo nagkita, ano ba yan? Parang medyo yan parang medyo questionable yun You mean he really is our brother? Well, since I haven't met him since I was a child, I can't say it for sure, but I surely thought he was our brother. Seiichi being the brother of Satomi and Miki. It's true. I never thought Satomi would remember. But the brother in my memory was a very kind person. There's no way that he could kill. Satomi, I know it's disappointing, but we can't deny this. I tried to think too that there had to be a mistake in the previous case. I didn't want to believe that a murderer could come from the Shimamura family. However, today, I saw Seiichi's figure by the window with my own eyes. That previous case, what kind of case was it? It was a murder case involving the male members of the Shimamura family, Izamu, Seiichi, and this one here, Kunio. 3 days ago, Miss Kyoko went to visit Isamu at his house during the morning. When she arrived, she found him dead. She immediately went to my place to contact me. I went running to Isamu's house, and inside, I also found Seiichi sleeping there. I arrested him as a suspect. If you arrested him, why was he at the window? Um, lax yung ano nila? Masyadong lax yung punishment? Dahil nga magkakakilala sila, ganun ba yun? Tsaka, teka, kung siya yung suspect, hindi man lang pinaghinalaan yung isa, yung si Kunio. Yun kaagad dahil natutulog, ganun. Well, he embarrassingly escaped. I never expected for him to go that far. I've known Seiichi since he was a child. I let my guard completely down. Oh, yun nga, tama nga yung assessment ko. Mababaw yung ano nila. In the middle of the investigation, I left my seat for a second, and he took the opportunity to escape. Ganon? If there wasn't anything guilty about him, he wouldn't have escaped. The escape of Seiichi is to me like a confession of guilt. The golden statue in Isamu's house also disappeared. Maybe that was Seiichi's target. Golden statue? A golden statue has been passed down within the Shimamura family since a long time ago, together with the one you girls brought. There are 2 in total. It's said that when you have both, a path to a treasure will open. It's only a very old legend, but Seiichi probably took it very seriously. Tell me more about the victim, Mr. Isamu. Mr. Isamu. His name was Isamu Shimamura, 22 years old. He was called as the next head of the Shimamuras. For the inheritance of the Shimamuras, headship, please look at this part of the family tree. Roku, Seiki, Kiryu, Taka, Aya, Is, Seichi, Satomi. Ayun, magkakapatid nga pala talaga sila. Seichi, Satomi, Miki. Tapos yung nanay nila si Aya. So, si Isamu yun. Close nga. Malayo si Kunio. Malayong-malayo siya. Pero dapat pwede yun eh. Pwede dapat siya kasi dito sa bridge na to siya pinaka-closest eh. Although ang kinuha nilang side ito. Okay, continue lang natin. The people in black letters are our parents. First generation. All of them are already dead. We descended from our great-grandfather, Rokubi, of the 15th generation. The head of the previous generation was Kiryu. Since he died half a year ago, the next head had to come out from him. But since he didn't have any children, the one with the highest priority was Isamu of Takashi, who died a few days ago. In other words, he would have been the first in the succession line. Okay. However, according to the predecessor's will, Isamu still didn't have the ability to be a head. While he was learning the aptitudes to be a leader, there would be a vacuum in the headship for half a year if he were still alive. That period would have ended on the next month, so he was expected to become the next head. But since that Mr. Isamu passed away, the only male left in the family line became Seiichi. Okay medyo medyo understandable motive. I see. As it was to claim the right of succession, Seiichi had to kill him. Ganon no? Had to kill him, ganon. But it's so strange. If Seiichi killed Isamu with such an obvious motive, he'd have known that he would be the main suspect from the beginning. Conan, don't poke your nose into a talk like this, little brat. Ouch. Lagi na lang eh. However, that's a good guess. If we only look at the motive and circumstances, she surely looks suspicious. But is there any conclusive evidence yet? We should investigate that first case. The state of the police's investigation is a secret, and outsiders aren't allowed to go near the crime scene. Just imagine how it would taint my reputation as an officer. If I allow such a questionable person that calls himself great detective to go near the crime scene. Ah, kumpara sa'yo, mas competent naman si Kogoro Mori. Ikaw, nalingat ka lang sandali, nakawala yung suspect mo eh. Especially after you put me down as just a remote island's policeman. After having been a police officer for so long. I'll tell you that you can't fool me, famous great detective, with such a stupid face. What? Pero kung ako papipiliin talaga kay Mori ako. Ikaw nga eh. Well, it would be a pity if you got involved into this case since you don't have much interest in it. Having you meddling in our investigation would be a hindrance. Why don't you go back home in the next ferry? My brother being a murderer, I don't believe a word of it. Sister. So they said that Miyata was entrusted with the management of this mansion. The man we saw in the window, Seiichi, turned out to be the brother of Miki and Satomi. He's also the suspect of committing a different murder 3 days ago. It seems this will need a deep investigation. Mansion. Judging by what Kunio and the officer said, I guess Seiichi is the culprit, alright? Sonoko, imagine being told that your brother is a murderer. Why don't you think about the feelings of Miki and Satomi? I think that's really sad, but hey Ran, why don't we prove the innocence of their brother Seiichi? Prove? How? Well, we have your dad, the great detective. Actually, this case seems harder than usual. Good evening, can I? Miki and Satomi, please join us. Actually, my sister said she has a favor to ask you. About Seiichi, right? Yes, you may think this is strange, since I haven't met him in more than 10 years. But I don't think that my brother could have done such a terrible thing. And although he escaped, I'm pretty sure he must have had a good reason. I believe in Mr. Mori's famous detective skills, so I want to ask him a favor. Malapit na tayo mag-timer, guys. Please help me. Might be an impudent request, but I want to help my brother. Even though he just appeared all of a sudden as a brother to me, even if he just appeared all of a sudden as a brother to me, it's not possible that he can be a murderer. Ladies, please relax. This is very far from being an impudent request. Kogoro Mori will respond to the request of these beautiful sisters at once. I'll definitely prove the innocence of your brother. God, he's too ready to make promises. Is this going to be okay? Okay, tomorrow we'll start the investigation. Okay, the detective boys will participate too. Since we're kids, we can't infiltrate into the crime scene. What are you saying? I won't let you do such a dangerous thing. You will all be house-sitting the mansion. Huh? But why? That's so boring. Timer na nga to. Tumunog na yung timer. Oh dear. Anything could happen, and these guys would still think we're vacationing. We only came to investigate the legend of the golden statue, but this has already become something much bigger. The next day. Save na muna natin dito, guys. What should we investigate first to fulfill Satomi's request? Did Seiichi really push off Miyata, and we can't forget Isamu's murder? For now, let's go around the island and find out more about Seiichi. Okay, so save na muna natin dito, guys. Tapos tuloy na natin next episode. Isa pa. Okay, guys. Kaya Sean Velosa signing off. Tuloy na lang natin ito next episode.